Hey folks, welcome to PlayBranson, the show where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. I'm your host, Chris Meyer, and today's episode is brought to you by iBranson.com, where you can find lots of information about Branson shows and attractions. Our guest this week is Andre Shepard, and he's with a show called Motown Downtown, and he also has a couple other shows. And so we'll be right back on PlayBranson.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. And on today's show, for the first time ever, I have Andre on here. Andre Shepard, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so you are in lots of shows here in Branson, at the Branson Hot Hits Theater.
Yes,
and
correct.
You're in Motown Downtown. You are in Doo-Wop and More.
Yes.
And then you have another show that's going to be coming up soon, the James Taylor and Soft Rock 80s.
Yes.
So you're a singer there. So folks, we're going to talk about all those shows in a little bit. But Andre, we want you to take us kind of way back. How did you get into this business? How did it all happen?
Yes. Well, I started out very young singing with my brothers, three of my brothers, and we started out singing in church. Our youngest brother at the time, I guess he was about 6 years old, and he was our little lead singer. He was our little kind of Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5, right? And so he clammed up and he didn't want to sing. And so then my other brothers encouraged me. He said, well, Andre, you know the songs, you go ahead and get out there. And so when I started singing, and that was kind of our introduction, and the people applauded, and that was the thing that gave us the confidence to keep going. And so then as time went on, my brothers decided they didn't want to do it anymore, and I wanted to keep doing it. My mom started up a gospel quartet, and I became part of that, and that was one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I got so much encouragement. So I was like in my preteen years, 11, 12, or 13 or so. And I just got so much encouragement, and people would give me money, give me a quarter or whatever. You young man, you get you a milk, you get you an extra milk when you go to school, and that just encouraged me so much. And of course, then my brothers were a little bit envious of me, and they were like, because I'd come home with the pocket filled with all this change, and Mom, we want to join. She said, no, that's the wrong, motivation. So I kept it going, and I sang with my mom in a gospel quartet, and then I transitioned from that to singing with other gospel groups. All the male groups wanted me to sing with them, because with my mom, there was like 4 other just women, so I'm singing with all these women. And they would always try to, pull me away from the ladies. And I said, well, but they take good care of me. I never had to pay for any meals, and I got a new suit every year for our anniversary. So that was a great experience. And so then in high school, I joined the jazz band, and that was another great experience. And so then we started doing a little choreography and all. And that was a great experience, and we would perform at the assemblies, all the pep rallies, before a football game or something. We would sing at those, and there was one time when we started to sing, and as soon as I started singing, I don't remember whatever song it was. As soon as I started singing, the floor of the gymnasium was packed with all these people running out onto the floor screaming, and the assistant principal, you guys hold it down, we got to get some order here. And they made everybody sit down. Okay. And then all right, so now we're going to start again, you guys behave yourself. As soon as I started up again, same thing happened, they ran back up there. So that was a very encouraging experience, to see that singing has that kind of drawing power to make people respond in that way. So
So you eventually ended up in Las Vegas.
Yes, I ended up in Las Vegas. I got a call from a friend of mine, and he was singing with a young man, Mr. Clarence Collins, who was one of the original members of the group Little Anthony and the Imperials. And so the group was kind of on hiatus at the time. Everybody kind of was doing their own thing. And so, but Clarence Collins wanted to keep, the Little Anthony and the Imperials sound going. So he implored me to become a part of what he was doing, and so I flew out to Vegas, and it was a beautiful experience. We started singing at the Sands. That was a great experience. So I did that for 2 or 3 years or so. And then other people started hearing me, singing with Clarence Collins. So I went back a couple times. I think in '96 or so, I went back again because I was just needing some work. And so, so that was.
But you were also with a band called Low-Key.
Yes.
And they had a #1 Billboard R&B song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That was so I was in. So the first time though that I went to Vegas was in, I want to say, the late '80s, 87, 88, somewhere around there. And so, and we were, I was with a band then, working around, and the band was called Sheer Energy, actually. We had 2 girls, and, we were kind of the band. I was one of the background singers. And so we were there, and we were trying to get some work there, but as a unit, we couldn't really get work, so we started getting pulled. The keyboard player went to play for this guy, and the bass player went to play for someone else. And so I was doing demo tapes. This man named O.G. Pierce, O-J-I, I think is the way he spelled it, O.G. Pierce. So we were doing demo tapes, and we'd ride up to, L.A. on the weekends, because I was working 6 days a week. And on the weekends, we would ride up on that Sunday when I was off. We'd ride to LA, we'd go to Columbia or Capitol Records and peddle our demo tapes. So then that began the whole Low-Key experience. So I ended up singing, so they brought me into the studio in the late 89 or so. And so I ended up singing a background for some R&B artists, Karen White, Karen White sang with Jeff Lorber, "These Are the Facts of Love." They sang that song. So I ended up singing backup vocals for her and for a man named Alexander O'Neill, who was hugely popular in the UK. And just everybody, I just hang around the studio all the time.
You've done lots and lots of work.
Yes.
And so I want to stop right here, folks. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson, and we're talking to Andre Shepard. And in the last segment, Andre, you're really sharing a lot of history, and you've done a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Tell us how you got to Branson and how long you've been here.
I want to say it was around 02 or 03. My sister had been coming here for a few years, and she had been telling folks around the different shows that she would visit. She was telling them that she had a brother that sings, and said and so she would always go to see the Platters. And so she told Lawrence Lockhart at the time, a rooster who's passed away since, but she told him, she said, "My brother sings, and you guys might want to use him." And he said, "Well, bring him, bring him to Branson sometime with you." So I came with my sister, and we came to the Platter show. At that time, they were at the Starlight Theater. And so we went to see them, and then so on the break, she said, "This is my brother that I've been telling you guys about that sings." And he said, "Oh, okay." He said, "Well, listen," he said, "choose an aisle seat." He said, "I'm going to call you up." He said, "Are you familiar with the song, 'It's All Right, Have a Good Time'?" I said, "Yeah, I'm familiar with that song, The Impressions, Curtis Mayfield and the guys." And and so as it got close to the end of the song, he started calling for me. He started beckoning for me, and so I rushed up to the stage and then started singing, kind of ad-libbing just on the end of the song, and he was directing me. "It's all right, have a good time, but it's all, hold it out, and I held it for as long as I could. And anyway, but that was a fun experience, and we got to know each other, and we exchanged numbers. I didn't get that spot with them initially. They went with another gentleman, Mr. Freddie Holiday, who was a great singer. So that left the door open for me to go with the Branson brothers. Dee Allen had heard me sing over at, what was the restaurant over there? Tony Z's. I don't know if you remember Tony Z's. I was singing over there, and he heard me. He said, "Man, we're starting up, the Branson brothers," and we were, they were part of the whole New South deal. And they were starting their own group, and so they took me under their wing, and I joined their group, and boy, that was a wonderful experience. And I had never sang with a country band ever.
Yeah. So now you're downtown at the Hot Hits Theater, and you're in a couple shows. So tell us about those shows.
So the one show that I'm in that we get probably the biggest crowds is the Motown Downtown show, which we do at 7:30 Wednesday through Sunday, and we have quite a bit of choreography. We do quite a bit of Temptations. We do some Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, and then we do a little bit of maybe some stylistics now and again. But we think it's a wonderful show, and we always get great reviews from it. There's nights that we're sold out. It's only about 100-seat theater.
So it's a very intimate theater.
Yes, it is.
And so you're doing this show, but then you're also doing this Doo-Wop and More, right? And so
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that show as well.
Doo-Wop and More is 50s and 60s music, and so we like to tell people we revisit some of those old dances that you guys used to do, the locomotion, and I don't know if you remember the stroll, we do that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we do some of the romantic ballads. We do some Little Anthony and the Imperials. We do all sorts of, music from that era. So. And
then you have another show that you're going to be doing, I think, later this summer, James Taylor and Soft Rock 80s.
Yes.
And so tell people about that show.
Well, that show I started up actually in 2020, had a lot of time on my hands and a lot of time to think, and I thought about doing several different things. I thought about doing a Lionel Richie tribute, but a friend of mine was already doing that, and I said, well, I don't want to step on his toes. And I thought about all this music, this soft rock music that no one was doing, and I'm a huge James Taylor fan. So I convinced the people at the theater to take a chance on me and do this show, and 2020, I mean, it was gangbusters. I mean, I was sold out a couple of times, and it was beautiful. So I do everything from Toto to Christopher Cross and a lot of the James Taylor songs.
So the Motown Downtown is Wednesday through Sunday at 7:30, yes. And then Doo-Wop is More is Mondays at 7:30 and Saturdays at 2. And then any idea when your James Taylor and the Soft Rock show will be?
August the 14th.
Is when it starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I only do it on Mondays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Folks, go see Andre Shepard down at the Hot Hits Theater. You can catch him at several different shows there. We'll be back in just a minute to wrap the show up. Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson. We're wrapping up the show and we want to thank you for sticking around today. Our guest this week was Andre from Motown Downtown,
Yes.
Doo-Wop and More, down at the Hot Hits Theater. Andre, how can people find you?
Well, they can get on. We have a website. It's called the Motown Downtown. So if you just search that, you'll find us 206 Commercial Street, a little theater right across from the Owen Theater in old downtown Branson.
Yeah, it's one of the few theaters in old downtown Branson, folks. And so if you're down there shopping, it'll be down there.
Yeah, because we're Motown and we're downtown.
There you go, Motown Downtown. That's it for today on the show. Next week's guest will be Nathan Agdepa from the Ball Knobbers, the first time he's ever been on the show, and so we're excited to have him on Play Branson. Be sure to like us on Facebook and check out our YouTube page. You can also find all of our episodes at PlayBranson.com. If you have a performer you'd like to see on the show, let us know. Send us a message, and we're always looking for new guests to have on the show. Folks, when you need help planning your Branson vacation, be sure to go to ibranson.com. Those folks can help you plan your entire vacation. You can also call them at 1-877-ENTERTAIN. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'll see you next time on Play Branson.